All right, guys. Welcome to the Startup Networking session hosted by the Startup Club. So this is something that we do every month, typically on the fourth Saturday. So you'll see the list of events, like on our meetup page, and you can find more events on our platform by visiting our official website, which is the startupclub.info. I'm putting the chat link to our official website here in the chat, so you can have a look at some of the other links that we have. So we have the Telegram group as well, where we come and we can have like more casual conversations and request things from other people in the startup ecosystem and things like that. So I'll tell you a little bit more about like how we're going to do this session. I think this time we don't have too many people to start with. I'm hoping that more people will join in as we move forward. So the way we're going to proceed is basically we are going to go around basically and then exchange information about like what who you are, and then where you're from and what you do and what is it that you're looking for as a startup founder, or whatever it is that you're looking for in the startup ecosystem. So that's it. And then it's typically we take like a couple of minutes to finish our introductions, and if we have more time we can discuss, like have a more free flow discussion. So this is how things will go. And I will start off introducing myself and what we do. So my name is Raghav. I'm based in Chennai, and I have about like 10 years of experience in software industry. I have a degree in neuroscience. Studied in the US, and I came back here to India, and for various reasons, like some of them personal, some of them is also like professional scope. Is like I consider India to be a better place for people who are problem solvers rather than employees. If you're employee, probably it's the best place to go, like to the US and work there. But if you're willing to solve problems, then I would say that India is a great place right now, because like there is an abundance of problems, right? So we can come here and we can actually invest in turning those problems into opportunities and businesses and things like that. So I have a couple of startups. My first startup is a non-profit public charitable trust. So this public charitable trust is something that I started 5 years ago to educate kids. Like I wanted to improve the education system in India, and I came back. I started doing some field research in rural Tamil Nadu, and trying to see like how can we improve the way things are happening in the education system. So I did a bunch of field research, and I started my first startup just trying to do things at scale. So we were trying to I built a online learning management system where kids can come in and learn coding for free. So this is something that I've been doing for the past 5 years, and hundreds of kids have been learning how to build websites and things like that, just to get them to interested in the whole um, coding as a hobby at least. And so we are looking to scale up that as well. So that is one thing that I'm doing. And the other thing is, a couple of months ago, I started my second company, which is a private limited tech startup. We're building a bunch of tech products. So right now we are working on software products, but eventually we want to like scale it up to like hardware labs as well, things like that. So, like I said, it's a couple of months old, but we've been working on products since for the past 10 months, let's say. So we are working on a bunch of products. You can actually find information about our products in the company on our website. I'm going to put that also in the chat. So I don't want to take too much time talking about the products, but basically we're trying to revolutionize the way we communicate as a society. So we're building an application for a social media platform that we want to utilize as a means to um, you know enhance the way we communicate as a society. Because like the past 5 years, so many things have changed in terms of like how we consume news, we consume information, what we share, share our thoughts, have dialogue. Though these things have changed a lot, but these infrastructure that we're using are basically built in a time when these things were not used in the same way that we do it now. So it requires a certain fundamental relook at the whole infrastructure and try to redesign the whole thing to solve the problems that we have currently, like fake news and echo chambers and things like that. So that is our primary product, and we also have a bunch of other products that we're developing to monetize in a shortest time scale, so that we can float our business without having to reach out to investors. So this is what we are doing right now. So that's my basic introduction. I'm just doing this as a hobby. The startup club is basically a hobby that I'm doing just to meet new people, just to do some like I've actually met a lot of cool people through the startup club. So it's just something that I'm doing for the side right now. So I hope that gives a fair introduction about myself. Now, yeah, let's go around. Whoever is willing to be next, you can just like unmute yourself and go ahead next. Tell us about you, where you're from, and what is your background, what are you trying to find right now?
So I think I will go. So basically, I am from Odisha, Jaipur, and I did my MBA from Christ. I'm 27 years old. Just after I did my MBA, COVID happened to the world, as we all know, and it was very hard for me to get the job. So I was into freelancing totally, like trying to just for the name. So I used to tell startups, I'll try to activate your growth funnel, like AAA and AAR. And then in the process, I learned a lot. Eventually, I don't know how to say this, but eventually I ended up into Paytm as a growth manager. Right now, I'm working with Paytm as a growth manager, where I take care of a business unit. Uh, yeah. So basically, I'm into growth marketing. I'm a kind of guy who can play guitar in the morning and piano at night. And growth marketing is totally similar to that, right? You need to put your hands, make your the hands study in data, then design, then copy, then uh, product. You can count on those lists. Yeah, this is pretty much me. Yeah, that's it.
Uh, can you tell me your name again? Mhm.
Oh, my name is Sai, Sai, Sai.
Sai, and also tell us about like what are you looking for, and like why did you
Oh,
join this session?
so basically, like every other youngster, even I was into totally into startups. I'm a kind of person every morning I start with Product Hunt and see what are the top 10 startups which are in the list or, Y Combinator or Angel list and see what these companies are doing. I exactly don't know the very fundamental problems for everyone. They want to do the startup, but they don't know what to solve. And they brainstorm around that. And I'm just curious what are people are working in India level, like in at least in, like in Bangalore level at least. So that's the reason why I'm right now just trying to explore. I really don't know. Like Sunday morning, I wanted to do something productive, and I choose this.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Sai. Yeah, who would like to go next?
I would like to go next. Firstly, Raghav, thanks as always for the wonderful opportunity here. Hi, everyone. My name is Amit Mehta. I own a strategic branding and design consulting firm called Pineapple Consulting. I'll just key in the URL in the chat section so that you can go through it. So we are 16 years in business as we speak, and we help right from the startups to Fortune 100 companies with deliverables like naming, brand identity design, communication design, which includes both online as well as offline communication. We work with a lot of FMCG companies, so we also end up doing a lot of packaging design as well as ambience design for branded spaces. Um, One of the reasons why I joined this group was, as always, I think I'm always keen to learn more, new things about, how the industry is shaping up, what all are the new ventures coming in. As Sai said, it's always very exciting to understand what all are the new, offerings in terms of startups people are doing. It is directly linked to my business as well because, as I said, we help companies right at the inception level onwards. Uh, and beyond that, 2 years back, I slowly started working on my second startup. Okay. That startup is going to be focusing more on, senior citizens. It is in the age tech domain. I'm building basically a micro community based aggregator platform for service providers who are dealing with senior citizens. And this platform obviously is meant for senior citizens of today as well as for tomorrow. I think, yeah, I'll keep it short and would love to obviously interact with all of you over here. Thank you.
Amit, if I'm not mistaken, I think we had a call, a very lengthy call last year.
Yes,
In
yes,
the
we
beginning.
did, Raghav, and yeah, what a valuable insights I think we were able to build thanks to you.
Yeah. I love connecting with people and talking about their product. Just giving them any useful insights. I think that kind of a small net community we have to have, because we have to grow together. Otherwise,
Correct.
we're not always in competition. Sometimes we have to collaborate.
Absolutely.
And build the ecosystem, because we all benefit if we have a better ecosystem in the startup world.
Completely agree.
So I would actually, at the end of it, maybe we can have a small discussion about how you've come in the past year, because things were at a very early stage last year,
Right.
and then we would love to
Right.
talk about more about that. Yeah. So
Sure.
let's go. Yeah, let's go around. Who else wants to introduce yourself?
I think I'll go for now. I'll go now. So, hi, my name is Manas. I have been in the industry for more than 23 years, working mostly into the tech side of things. So, I have experience in telephony, digital signal processing, fintech, and little bit of AI as well. Right now I am doing a startup of my own. It is into generative AI. So basically, you can give out any text or a story, and it will generate a video out of it. It's not like the Soras of kind which you have heard. I'll just type in the link here so you guys can try it out. So, basically, whereas Sora and Meta, everybody, world is going towards video, right? And everybody has built their own technology where it will help people how to generate videos. So for us, how it started was like we tried to create, me and one of my friends tried to create our own YouTube channel, and that's how it started. We tried to create our own videos, and we found out it's difficult and it's time taking. So we thought, why not build a product around it? And that's how it started. Um, Mostly I have done startup previously, like in 2016-17 time. I tried for like few years, failed of course. Again, so that point of time, I used to join a lot of these sessions and meetings and in-person meetings. Those times, those were more famous startup Saturdays and all, right? So I thought, why not? We've been building this product for past 6-7 months now, and we have not been gone out and went to different sessions. So I thought, like, why not start? And like, this is a long time. I'm starting this. I'm joining a session, and the objective is to meet people, know, and see what else is going on in the market, what people are building. Yeah, I think that's kind of it.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Manas. Who would like to go next?
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Who is
Raghav,
that?
sir. Nandu here.
Nandu. Yeah, please go ahead, Nandu.
Yeah, good morning, Raghav, sir, Mehta, sir, and Malik, sir. Myself, I am Nandu. I am giving my self-introduction. Good morning. It's my pleasure to introduce myself to you, sir. And my name is Nandu. I am 22 years old. I live in Hyderabad, and I have done my bachelor's in civil engineering, and I have graduated in 2023. From past few months, I have been thinking to build something uh, in the world, such as building a company. I don't know. I love to build something from the past few days, but I don't know how to start from where to start. I don't know what skills are required. I thought it would be helpful if I join any event or a workshop, so that I would be networking with some new people and gain some insights to start my career in building things. That's it about me, sir.
Okay, Nandu, thank you so much for introduction. Actually, this is a good step, like because a lot of young people want to get in the startup ecosystem. They have no idea where to go, like just like you. But you've come on here and then you've introduced yourself, which is again a proactive move, which tells me that you have the I guess like the attitude to go ahead and do something, which is like it's a distinguishing factor, right? Because a lot of people are
Yes.
sitting there, they're not proactively looking for networks to join and do this kind of thing. So think about, I would like to give some advice as well. Like, think about how can you contribute to a startup, right? Think about those kind of things and look at what kind of a value can you add, because that is ultimately the question that everybody has to ask, regardless of like whether you're a veteran or somebody new. What kind of a value are you able to create? And that when you keep doing that, when you keep adding value, that's when you can realize a systematic way to do that, and that's when a business is born, right? So think about those things and think about like how can you help a startup. So at your stage, right, I would advise you to not look for any kind of monetary incentives. Just do things that would give you experiential incentives, uh, things that give you more experience and things like that. So if you ever want to do a startup, then work with a startup, maybe join as an unpaid intern or something like that, and gain the experience, and that will give you some ideas on your own. Just a small tip that I'm giving.
Yeah, thank you, sir. What I am thinking is, I thought of joining as a volunteer or intern in any startup incubator so that I would learn how startups are built. That would be helpful for me. I thought in such way.
Yeah. And how are you going about searching for those internship opportunities?
Yeah, sir. First of all, I am building some network in offline, and also I am trying to build required skills by myself through online courses. This is how I am trying, sir.
Actually, I would give you a tip. There's a lot of internship opportunities on LinkedIn that you can actually access and you can apply. And because like I just like got done with like hiring a whole bunch of interns for the past couple of weeks, interviewing a lot of them, and we've added a bunch of interns for my own startup. So there are like very good opportunities for you to gain experiences if you just like go and find them. You go and look for them.
I think, Nandu, I would also like to perhaps discuss in person with you. As I said, I'm working on my second startup, and I do see a possibility where we guys can build something together. So yeah, let's connect
Yeah,
on the discussion.
yeah, and also if you leave your like profile or details in the Telegram group, people can reach out. Like for example, Amit here is telling you that he would have an opportunity for you, right? So that is the whole point of the startup clubs, the networking facilities. That you can come and share what you're able to offer, and then people will come and find you, and then you will be able to help each other out.
Yeah, sir.
So
Okay, sir.
thank you, Nandu. Who would like to go next? Don't be shy, guys. Yes. I think somebody was turning on the camera. I think Shambhavi was you, and then you were trying to speak, but you were muted.
Yeah, I was actually my Zoom is updating. I was trying to connect through phone, but yeah, I think I can join with computer. Just give me a minute.
Sure. Anybody who's ready to go? We see a lot of new people here. Anand, Jeesh, Anusha, Krishna. See, even if you don't have any interesting story to tell, just like tell us like why you joined. You must have joined for some reason, right? So it's fine.
Yes, I can go next.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm
Yeah.
Anant Yadav. I'm
Yeah.
from Indore. Voice आ रही है sir?
Yeah. We can hear
Voice
you.
is
Go ahead.
yeah. So yes, I'm from मेरा बैकग्राउंड वैसे रियल एस्टेट से है, लेकिन मैंने अभी स्टार्टअप क्या ओपन करा है. वी प्रोवाइड वीडियो एडिटिंग, ग्राफिक एडिटिंग रिलेटेड सर्विसेज. इट्स न्यूली, मतलब अभी अभी कुछ एक दो हफ्ते पहले मतलब अपने माइंड में आया था कि हम मतलब मेरे दोस्तों के पास ऐसे स्किल्स है, उसको हम आउटसोर्स कर सकते हैं. Yeah, this is the thing. We named it Mog Studios. Yeah. I'm basically joined for the networking purpose. That's all.
All right. Thanks a lot, Anand.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah. Jeesh, Krishna, what about you guys? This is a small group, guys. Like you can be more relaxed, you know. Okay. In we don't want to like sit here quiet. So maybe Amit, why don't you tell us like about your journey in the past year, like how things changed or what have been the developments?
Uh, well, Raghav, I think the past year has been pretty much a roller coaster as we all experienced, right? Like, I mean, any which way, I think if you recall, we spoke last year, and at that time too, the idea was to really, start from the basics of building community. Um, but at that time I wasn't really very much prepared, even from a business model perspective, even from a product detailing perspective. So I think since the time we spoke, especially on the second venture front, I've been able to really detail out the product itself, because that is going to be the heart and soul. But beyond that, since it is going to be something which is a relatively new sort of a domain, so we are also now starting to focus on, what kind of platforms we would want to really build the community on, what kind of, profiles we would want to really, go ahead and engage with.
Just to be
Um,
clear, like this is with the age tech startup you're talking about, right?
yes,
Okay. Okay.
yes, I'm talking about that.
Okay.
But it has been so slow, Raghav. It has been extremely slow, and I think I'm kind of whenever you're starting up new, you're always full of energy and excitement, etc.
Mhm.
But it is a completely different ball game to have a second venture,
Mhm.
because no matter how much you plan, no matter how much of a contingency support system do you have, your first venture still does end up taking a lot of your energies. Uh, so yeah, I mean that itself has been a source of great learning for me. That you still need to adhere to timelines. You still need to adhere to whatever that you do in order to provide your service to, let's say, your end consumers. When you're building a startup for your own, where you become your own client, I think it is exactly the same principles that you must apply. Otherwise, yeah, there are tremendous delays that end up happening, which obviously costs way lot more.
So
So these were some of the learnings. Yeah.
yeah, actually, one of the things that we were doing is that we want to have this like brainstorming sessions, you know, where we can talk about problems like these, like how do other founders deal with these kind of issues. Like for example, even I do like you know, like I said, I have a couple of startups. This is my second startup, and I'm focusing more on this now than the other one because like you know I'm shifting priorities basically from the first one to the second one because everything is automated in my first one, so I'm able to move to this one and do things. And actually, one of the things that I've learned is that it is so hard to work solo when you're doing this thing. You have to learn to delegate things with a team. So thankfully, like for my second startup, I have a solid team where I can delegate things. I can just tell them drop a message on our channels, and then they will take care of things. You know. So I think that kind of a team support you need to have if you're doing multiple things, and of course you're doing multiple things if you're a founder. So maybe that's something that I would say that is something that you should probably consolidate, having that kind of a system like a pipeline to delegate tasks downstream, and have them. You know, like you need to have a core team who are reliable to you, and then they need to have a core team reliable to them, so that they
Right.
can all get everybody's accountable for whatever they're supposed to be doing. So that is something that I found really helpful. I actually have free time sometimes, like you know, to do other things because that's also important. You know, you can't have like fatigue from overworking yourself.
I couldn't agree more with you, Raghav. I think you've really hit the nail on the head. And as I said, yeah, I mean, this has been one of the great learnings as well. That yes, I mean, sometimes you do take this one very tiny element, that how reliable your team and team members are. I think it really shines through when you really get into a very contrasting situation where you are the only person, and you then miss out having a partner. And I think that is one of the one of the bucket lists things for me as well, because yeah, I'm on Y Combinator, because I am actively looking for a tech co-founder for the second venture, as I said. So completely agree with you. Yeah, I think having a good team, or at least a co-founder, is paramount, because without that you can really go bonkers. So yes, in fact, if you are having free time, I would love to invite you to please take some time out and see if you can spare some time in terms of a strategy part for the second venture.
Yeah, you can contact me on DM on Telegram, and then we can have a conversation.
Awesome. How's been your experience of building this community, Raga? Always wanted to know that, because I recall when you just initially started, we did communicate at that time too. And I think it's great to see the community flourish. You've been really persistent and very consistent. What are some of the learnings that you had in terms of building the base part of it?
Before we go to that, I would love to answer that. Before we go, I want to see if somebody else is ready to introduce themselves, and then I will touch upon that. Because we want to allow people to introduce themselves.
Bit of members now.
Yeah. So guys, like if you feel like you're ready to talk about whatever it is that you're doing, just introduce yourself. Take a minute or two to tell us who you are, where you're from, what kind of things are you doing, and then what is it that makes you want to come to the session like this, where you want to find other people, and what are you looking for? What kind of a person are you looking for? Okay, everybody's too shy. They just want to watch. They don't want to participate, it looks like. Okay, Jish says he's going to take a couple of minutes. So I'll tell you more about my journey, about this community, right? This is a funny story. Last year, I was in a similar boat where I was going and attending networking sessions from other places. And I found a community on Meetup, and it turned out that the person would let you come in. It was a paid event too. Like, it was a Zoom call. You had to pay like 50 rupees to get in. And I went there and I saw that everybody was muted. It was like 11:15. Right? And it was 15 minutes in, everybody was muted, nobody was saying anything. And the host was completely muted, and it was inaccessible. And the host just left the meeting and was like, what's going on? And then I started asking the other people, who are you? Which one is responsible for this session or whatever? And it turned out that we were all new there. Nobody had any clue. And then I just started making the most out of it. Like I actually became the host or whatever. And we were all really confused by the end of it, but we still made the most out of that session. So I go to their Telegram group, and I ask, who's the host? What is going on? Like, we were really confused, and I was trying to look for answers. And whoever the host was got really offended. And it's like, you were supposed to read the description on the Meetup page. Like, you were supposed to know that the host was not going to be there. You should have made the most out of yourself. You didn't read, you're illiterate, and all these things. And then I said, like, maybe you should have put that on the front page where we were signing up for the session. So, and then that really, I guess, like, pissed them off, and they just like kicked us all out. Actually, I was there, and they're telling all this, like, people agreed to, like, there were 4 other people who agreed to what I was saying. And then we all of us got kicked out of the block from the channel. So I was like, actually, let's do something about this, because like, I didn't want to, like, that was a small thing, like, I didn't really think it was a big deal. But I did feel like there was a scope for us to do something different, because networking is something that startups absolutely need, and I just didn't find any avenues that suited my interests or the quality of service that I was looking for. And I decided, okay, I'll do something about it. So I went ahead and bought up this Meetup license, and I set up all this whole thing just as an experiment to see where things go. And I was able to, thankfully, like, I got the numbers of those 4 people who were there, and I was able to communicate with them. And I actually partnered with one of the other guys who was also on the call. And then I started this thing, and we started conducting these events. And slowly, it has become like the Telegram group now has like 700 people in the channels, and the meetup has like some 4,000 people. And these are like not small things. There's obvious need. There's obvious need for this kind of a ecosystem to exist. And right now, we have a bunch of we have actually a team now. Like the startup that I'm working with. I mean, that I started a couple of months ago. That I started. We have a bunch of people that are actually working on a product for the startup club. So we are actually building an app for the startup club where people can do all of these things. Whatever we're doing in the networking or the brainstorming or for example, we have a young Nandu here who wants to, who doesn't have experience, but he's eager to get exposure to what's going on. So there are like needs, right? Where, for example, you are looking for a co-founder and somebody else is looking for a team. So these are all needs that are unmet, and we don't have a consolidated ecosystem for these things to happen. So we are building an app that does exactly that. So this is going on the background. I'm just like telling you offhand because like I don't want to hide anything, but like I want it to be a surprise. So we will like be coming out with a news on how things are going down the line, and we will have certain validation sessions as well. Like people in the industry would want to validate our design of the app and the features and things like that. So we will have that kind of a session sometime down the line, and then we will start developing the product. So this is something that's going on. And yeah, so the group, again, like I said, the Telegram group and the meetup is steadily growing, and yeah, we're happy to see that. That's, I guess, the summary of what's happened in the past year.
That's fantastic news, man. I think that's really great. In fact, I happen to be in the last, investor connection.
Yeah, the pitch workshop. Yeah.
The pitch workshop. Yes, Amey was there, I believe.
Yeah, Amia.
Amia, right. So that was pretty interesting too. So good to see you progress, man.
Yeah.
Good to hear that.
Yeah, and actually, the funny thing is that me starting the startup club was actually a very important step in my startup journey, because my first intern was from the startup club. So he found that I was doing this, and he wanted to connect. And he was just like a student. This guy was a student, just graduated, and then he joined some company, and he was not satisfied with the job he was doing. So he's looking for some other startup to work with, and he contacted me, and we started building our product. And then he was able to like hire a bunch of other interns for me, and then we started building our team like that. And those interns started bringing in other interns. Now we have like a full-fledged team with everybody like coming in for the passion of it rather than like in a monetary incentive, because we're not in a position where we have capital to provide those like pay or things like that. So everybody coming in with an interest to learn, and they're coming in with a passion, right, for the product. And as a leader, right, you have to inspire them. And that is also a learning opportunity for me, like, because I'm exercising my leadership skill as we do this. So without much capital, I've been able to do a lot of these things simply because of the networking potential here.
That's great. So you have that Telegram group to thank to in that case, Raghav.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like a product with a poor service is actually an incentive for you to get inspired to do something more, right?
Right.
So yeah, I'm actually I would thank that that Telegram group.
Awesome.
So I think Jish, you said you'll be ready in a couple of minutes. So you ready?
Hi everyone, I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Good morning everyone. I had a little glitch with the mic, so I was just trying to adjust and switch the device. So I'll give a quick intro, and then I was loving the conversation that was going around since last 10-15 minutes. So good to meet everyone. So I basically come from a business and technology consulting background. I've been into consulting for almost like a decade now. I last served as into managerial role with Deloitte. So I quit my corporate job, and now I'm looking forward to connect with similar-minded folks. Last 18 months, I have experimented right from providing independent consulting, both from strategy, analytics, AI, to digital transformations to almost Fortune 500 clients. Parallelly, I'm a two-time co-founder, one in edtech space back in 2014, which I ran successfully for 3 years. And post that, it was a social e-commerce platform that I developed back in 2018. This was pre-incubated with ISB Hyderabad. So we almost raised seed funds. but unfortunately, because of the COVID, we took a hit. We couldn't showcase certain tractions with the investors were quite interested into it. But having said that, we formed a lot of partnerships along with the restaurants, the event management partners. We kicked off the pilot project in Hyderabad itself in multiple areas within the Hyderabad region. It was quite successful, but because of COVID, the partners turned out to us in terms of giving them the door delivery services because of the COVID being hit. So the model changed, the engagement model changed along with that. So there was some kind of pivoting that was done. Post that, I finally decided to quit almost 18 to 20 months before, and then take it up like a full-time entrepreneurship. So right now I'm in I would say a situation where I'm trying to understand the collaborative nature, as I was hearing from Amit and other folks, the young ones as well, where how exactly they are trying to go, get along, and these kind of sessions are really helpful in order to understand what dynamics are happening around. So currently, I'm from Kerala basically, but I come from a defense background, so I've been around all over the places. Majorly, I was in Hyderabad. Since last almost a year, I'm here at Bangalore. So I'm not sure how many of you folks are from Bangalore itself. Would love to catch up sometime. So what I'm looking forward to is that how can I bring back my consulting experience, my startup experience, whether it is young or people who are getting into this journey. But one thing which I have observed is I think I would love to connect somebody who's giving it a full shot, like a full time, committed to it. That is something which I've realized, which I might get along quite well with because me being on the similar path. So that is something which I would like to take as a further conversation if somebody is interested. Yep.
Thanks, Jish. Actually, on that note, right, like one of the other things that have happened in the last year for me is that I got laid off. I was working as a business analyst for a Chile-based company, which had an engineering hub in Bangalore, and I was working remotely from Chennai. And one of the best things that happened was that I got laid off, and because when you're working on a startup and then you're also working full time in another company, it's really you're basically like you've got like your both your feet are in pointing to different directions. They're trying to go in different directions. It's not going to work. So when that happened, I just like took a vacation. I just like traveled around and didn't do anything for a couple of months. And then when I completely felt refreshed, then I started the company, and now I'm doing it full time. And I'm able to commit a lot more of my resources and time and energy into doing this full time. And I think it's a foundational. You need that when you're trying to build something from the scratch, right? So that's a thing that came to mind when Jish was talking about his full time thing. Yeah. Thanks, Jish.
Right, I completely agree, Raga, because that is something which I observed in last 18 months. I have networked quite intensively back in 2018 when I was building my second startup. That was in the Hyderabad region, both offline and online. So, however, I didn't notice this, fully commitment would be something which I would like to relate and which will something chalk out. But today, having said that, the technology has made it, the scalability has made it more robust. So today it's more about you give that dedicated time, like a full-time basis and build the product and just launch it, the beta version or the version 1. Unlike what it was 5 years back, as I would see that you take your time, you do your research slowly all over again. Because today you'll have a lot of competitive intelligence picking up, consulting companies providing it, and you have new startups springing up. So it's more or less like you give it in the hands of the customers or potential customers as soon as possible, and then see how it is taking and then build the features accordingly. Unlike what it was like a decade ago, where you're just trying to research completely, and then I think that is what has changed the dynamics, and then that is what like instead of building it for 1 year, 2 years, you just take a call for 3 to 6 months, and then totally dedicate it with a team or along with the right skilled people, and then you see in 6 months you'll get to see how that has been responding, and if it is not working out, you can always go back to the industry and then work out, taking the experience, and you can always maybe after a couple of years you can come back.
Yeah, but one thing I want to add here is that there is a fine balance between speed and stability, right? Like if you like I'm not going to advocate for like people spending 10 years in a product research and launching it, especially if it's a software product or something like that. If you have like a very highly like sophisticated deep tech product or something like that, maybe a longer runway would be justified. But I think also, like if you're just like doing like for example, a lot of these like recent startups are all like they're called like wrapper startups, right? Like they're basically wrappers around ChatGPT API, and they're kind of like riding on the novelty of these new technologies to sort of like introduce something cool. But you are going to be outpaced, like in a really short amount of, because OpenAI itself is bringing a lot of these wrappers on top of their product, because why wouldn't they? They are the ones who came up with the main product. So I think there is a certain balance that you have to maintain between speed and also like a foundational base. Like, because if you're doing something that is easily replaceable, then you're probably spending that 6 months into nothing, right? You're going to spend 6 months into building a product that is like very, very rudimentary, very something that is not really innovating in a fundamental way. And then you're going to take maybe like a year to realize that it's not going anywhere, to quit it and then go to something else. So in a sense, like depending on the product, it would make sense for you to like spend some time to really like go deep and innovate, provide something of fundamental value that is sustainable, that is also not something that is easily replicable, so that you're building value. So that's my subtle take on the speed aspect, because there is a balance, right? Like you can't like spend too long and also too short into building something that's not really adding too much of a fundamental value.
Right. So in the strategic world, we call it as like a trade-off, right? Trade-off between how you put it out. So again, it also depends on what resource positioning you have. Maybe you dominate the skill side, maybe you dominate the networking side, which can give the initial 100 customers.
Yeah.
So they are like almost like ready to go, and then all you have to do is just build the product and understand the pain points and then go for it. That also plays a key role. But having said that, the right trade-off and the resource availability is something which is always like, sometimes you have everything but you lack funds. So it's challenging. Like I was hearing with somebody here a few minutes earlier that trying to go solo, I think it was Amit talking about trying to go solo versus trying to build that small team. So there is always that trade-off, right? That risk-taking thing, risk aversity, which one needs to understand and then go forward towards it, rather than stretching it, trying to build and dump it all over to one developer who's been hired or he's promised of some sort of equities, etc. to go by. So that is something which I wanted to understand. Is there any particular agenda today, or is it's open?
See, we are mainly doing networking, right? Like we want to go around, like introduce everybody. I'm just like, because like everybody was quiet, like we're kind of like having a tangential conversation here. But if somebody wants to introduce somebody who's not talked so far, would like to introduce themselves and just tell us who you are, what you're doing, and what you're looking for here, that would add value. I think Shambhavi, you were trying to get your mic to work or something, right? Why don't you start?
I was trying to get my camera, but I'm not able to figure it out. Probably I'll have to restart my system so I can go without camera.
Sure.
For now. Maybe next time I can join with camera. So I am Shambhavi Srivastav. I currently work in Bangalore. I have around 4 to 5 years of experience. I work as a technological solutions consultant in the infrastructure industry, networking infrastructure, servers, compute, storage. That is my domain. As part of the startup thing, I have tried twice or thrice, and I have failed. So I was trying to build a content writing agency initially. Then I tried to, that was a solo, that is when I had started in 2021. And that is when I had started learning all about it. That was the solopreneurship journey of mine. And then it was all too new and I got exhausted along with the job. So that is when I had to stop continuing. And then I started doing the content creation. But that also did not work really well. Probably I had to learn how to do marketing, but I know where my mistakes were. And then third time I started with the freelancing to help the startups grow. So that is what I am actually currently working on. Since I had to relocate to another city, it was on a hold for 2-3 months. And right now I'm just giving little more time to my jobs, to upskill something and learn something. So to move to the next phase of my career. So that is on hold. So my plan is to start or build this in next 4-5 years, maybe by the time I'm 30, 32 years old. Currently I'm 27. So by that time, I want to learn all the basics and be ready to take it up. So that is why I'm doing it simultaneously. This is what I am looking for. Maybe this is what I am. I mean, this industry of digital marketing, digital content creation, content writing is what I'm looking forward to. Probably it might change, but even the basics that I will be learning how to build a startup should remain in case I get better ideas of building a product or anything like that in future. So currently from this session, if I can get resources as to how to get the investors or what I have to prepare at my end to get the investing or how to get the funds, resources to learn, that is where I'm struggling right now. I don't know. I'm not able to find the information regarding that. So that is what I.
Actually, Shambhavi, thanks for sharing. Actually, we have a funding workshop that is scheduled for, I think it's either like next couple of weeks sometime. Let me look it up. So this is on June 9th. We have a startup funding workshop. You will be able to find this on our meetup page. And this is where we're actually bringing in somebody from the industry to talk about this. Okay, so they have a, they're actually a startup themselves. They have a service to help startups raise funding. And there are actually a lot of government resources that people don't really know about. Government is actually trying to inject some fresh funding into the ecosystem. And they have a lot of non-refundable loans that they give, like grants. You don't have to repay them as long as you have a proper idea, right? And in that regard, right, you have to understand the definition of a startup. You can't just call any business a startup. There are a lot of people trying to say, like, for example, they will start like a small shop or like something, and then they just call it a startup. It's not a startup. It's a small business, right? There is a distinction. When you're a startup, you're bringing some innovation to the field. Like if you're just doing something that everybody else is doing, then calling it a startup can be like a misnomer, right? You have to have some fundamental idea that is unique, something that is kind of like a risk that you're taking to bring something new to the table, and you're doing something different, right? So maybe like look into that, but also because like these grants are only offered to ideas that the government considers to be unique, right? These grants are usually reserved for those kinds of things. So yeah, maybe you can join that June 9th workshop. Again, we usually conduct our events on Sundays at 11 a.m. So we have a lot of events lined up. You can have a look at that.
All right, that should help. But yeah, getting to know so many people and the experiences and knowing that everyone was sailing in the same boat and that's how they've achieved is a big relaxation for me.
I mean, I don't know if anybody you can call it like we've achieved great heights or something. We're all in the journey, right? We're all at various stages of the journey. Yeah.
To know that the journey is kind of similar to everyone. Everybody feels, and it's a tough process for everyone.
Right. Thanks for sharing, Shambhavi. I think some of you guys haven't gone yet, like Anand, Krishna, Tanusha. Why don't you guys like take a minute to introduce yourself, because we have 5 minutes left. We're not going to do this forever, right? This session.
Yeah. So I'm Krishna.
Hi, Krishna.
Currently I'm working as a data analyst in Bangalore. Currently working from home from past 2 years. So I'm very much interested to learn the business knowledge, this how to build a startup and all, because I'm currently working in a startup company. So I'm working for US. They equipped me to one of the consultancy in Bangalore. So I'm working for them from past 2 years, working in a US hours. I'm looking for an opportunity to learn how to build a startup and because even I have some few ideas to do that, but I'm completely not from a core business background. I'm from pharmaceutical background, and I learned the software tools, and I came into this industry. Yeah, so this is all about me, and so recently I seen that some of the business schools they're giving, but they are very much expensive. Like Mesha Business School in Bangalore, they recently started giving, especially they built these courses for the startup people. Yeah, this is all about me, and the only the thing is that I'm looking for an opportunity to learn the knowledge of the startup. Yes.
Thanks a lot, Krishna. I would give you the same advice that I gave to like, Nandu, right? Basically, that you just go put yourself out there, and in our Telegram group there is a you can just go and describe yourself, whatever you've said just now, right? Whatever expertise that you are able to bring to the table to a startup, they can come in and they will give you the experience, and you can give them some of your time. So I would say that is actually better than joining courses and things, because courses you're not going to get like real world output. You maybe get a lot of knowledge, but if you want to like actually do something, it's better to work with a real world product. So that's my small advice.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. And like I said, we have a couple of minutes left. Actually, I wanna show you guys something. I just Manas was talking about his startup, right? And then he said like he shared his link. And I actually went ahead and went to his website and then created a small thing. Maybe I haven't tried it. I'm not sure if my computer audio will be audible to you guys, but I want to quickly play to see like what is actually his startup is doing. So I don't know if you can hear my computer's audio, but let's see. Can you guys hear the audio?
No, Raghav.
Actually, while sharing, you have to give the permission to.
Okay, let's
for the
do
audio.
that. Let's try that. Share sound.
Mutual growth.
So I just like made a small prompt saying that I run a small startup community called the Startup Club, and I want to like invite more people to join this.
Welcome to the Startup Club. Discover a place where startups network, share resources, and foster mutual growth. Our ecosystem is designed to elevate your startup by connecting you to a network of peers and experienced entrepreneurs. Engage in collaboration and take advantage of collective knowledge to accelerate your startup's journey. We invite you to share this community with others. Together, we can amplify our efforts and achieve more. Join the Startup Club today and be part of a community that's innovating for tomorrow.
Create amazing videos like this using RealCraft AI.
All right.
Welcome to the Startup Club.
That was great. Manas, thank you so much for sharing about that. I think this is a great tool.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. How did you like? This is something that you did on your own, or did you have a team that worked on this?
Yeah, so I'm part of the tech team. We have 2 full-time employees
Mm-hmm.
and 2 people who work part-time. So we are total 5 people in tech. And then one of my co-founder, he was a CMO of Ad Creative before this, and another one he's a serial entrepreneur. So he has his own services company.
Mhm.
So
this is something that are you trying to monetize this?
yeah, you have a paid subscription. If you want to download the video, you can, and you can create for 4 or 5 videos, and after that you have to do a paid.
Okay.
So we launched paid last month, and we have few paid customers, like around 20. But we are also launching on AppSumo next week. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Please share that journey with us in the Telegram group. Whenever you're able to like see how the AppSumo thing goes, right? Let's see how the response is, because we can all learn from it, right?
Sure. It has been a journey actually, because we launched in January 15. Initially, the quality of videos were not good, but still we found users coming in, creating videos. Users have created around 5,000 videos. There are around like 2,000 users who have joined our platform, and we did not do any kind of marketing as such right now. Initially, we launched in Product Hunt,
Mhm.
so that is how some people got to know about it. And since my co-founder is a CMO, so he knows how to tweak the websites and all. So that's how users are coming.
Because I think this space is like kind of saturated. Like there are a lot of players in this same field. Like they're trying to build, because like it's a huge industry. YouTube videos is a huge industry, and everybody's
Correct.
like after this Gen AI applications of these things, right?
Right, right. So
Yeah.
there are companies like Meta, Google, right, and then Sora, like OpenAI, but they provide they you give a prompt and it will create a video, right? So there won't be any audio, right? It's a tool. They are providing a platform, but eventually creators will have to uh, create small
Assimilate all of
videos,
it, yeah.
join them, add voice to it, add music. So basically all these bigger companies will keep on providing more and more platforms, but you will have to find out a problem which you can solve for people, right? For example, creating this kind of whatever video you saw right now, creating that kind of a video will take around 2 to 3 hours, right? You generate one each prompt and you generate each video and then you join. So it saves the time for a lot of people, and for people who are not very much skilled, right? They can just immediately create a intro video for themselves. You can add your pictures and add your own logo as well on this.
Yeah.
So you can edit the video which you created.
Yeah, and I think with the recent ChatGPT 4.0, like 4.0, right? That one is like much more of a tone, like it's got a human tone. And because that's
Correct.
one thing that I see about these AI generated videos. Actually, this is one thing that I noticed. I hope you don't take it in the wrong way, but like, in YouTube, right, there is so many AI generated videos, and people are generally averse to that because they say like, why? I don't want to watch an AI generated video. I want to watch a human generated video. And you are competing with the human creators, right? And often the quality tends to be better in human created videos. I think that is probably the next step where you would have to innovate to make it like more seamless, more competitive for human creators. I think that's when
Correct.
the real challenge happens. Yeah.
Correct. So actually, there is a lot of space. There some people might want a small video, right?
Mhm.
They don't want a very good or very high quality video, right?
Mhm.
Where you take 2 days to create a video, right? So let's say there is a shop who sells some mithai, right? But if you just they don't have any, so creating one video might cost you 2,000 rupees, right? Even with these AI tools, also the creators will take that much amount of money, right? But with this kind of tool, it is hardly 100 rupees. You get create a video, keep on your social media, you post it every day, you create a video every day, you post it every day. So so these tools will provide value at certain space, right? Not
Yeah.
every tool is not for every
Mhm.
solution, right? So
Right. Right.
that's the whole
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing about that. I think
Thank you.
we can close. We're getting to the end of the session, and I see some people putting it in the chat. I would love to have you post these things in the Telegram group, because this session is only like for an hour, and we are going to close now. So whatever you're going to post in the chat, please post it in the Telegram channel. And I see something from Anand regarding that. So Anand, things like, like how to differentiate your product. I think he's talking about like he's starting us. Anand, why don't you come turn on your mic and share your question?
Yeah, वो the time is over is इसके लिए मैंने क्या वो
We can take a
question
couple of minutes. Yeah, just go ahead.
या तो मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि जैसे हम सर्विस एजेंसी स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं, तो अभी तो क्या सभी ये कर रहे हैं, मतलब कुछ भी उनके पास टैलेंट रहता है, जो भी रहता है स्किल्स वगैरह, तो मतलब सर्विस प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं। लेकिन जैसा आपने कहा कि जो सेम चीज होती है जो रिप्लेसेबल है, वो सरवाइव नहीं कर पाती ज्यादा।
हाँ.
तो व्हाट वी कैन डू डिफरेंट टू मेक इट बिगर एंड डिफरेंशिएट इट एंड मेक इट सर्वाइवल, मतलब
That's a
व्हाट टू
really
डू?
hard question, man. You're saying, how do I succeed, basically, right?
या या
That
इन
so
अदर वर्ड्स या
yeah. So first of all, your product, right? Actually, there is a strong relationship between a founder and the product. have found like a product is only as good as the like founder's experiences, because you have to to come up with a product idea and come up with a solution, right? You have to have had some certain diverse experiences. There are a lot of people, for example, this OpenAI, right? It was started with a certain motivation. They wanted to be at the forefront of the AI revolution, and they wanted to have an open system. So they came up with a certain specific like a very ambitious plan. So as you, right, you have to look at yourself as an individual and see like what is something that I can do that nobody else can do. That is the question you have to ask yourself. So don't think about it from the product side of things. First of all, talk about you as a person. How can you do something that other people cannot do, replace you with? And start from there. It's an introspective journey. You have to ask these questions yourself and find out the answers from within, and differentiate. The differentiation comes from your experiences that are fundamentally different, right? But if you're going through the same experiences that everybody else is, and then you're open to the same problem sets that everybody is, obviously the output will be the same, right? So think about that. Yeah.
Okay. And one more thing, आपने मतलब कहीं ना कहीं तो ये इस वीडियो से like a video editing service वाले को यूज तो करवाया ही होगा. What is your pain points and what is your good points? मतलब आपने कभी कुछ सर्विस ली होगी, मतलब किसी से वीडियो एडिटिंग कभी करवाया होगा, तो what is they provide good and which you like good and which you think is bad?
See, I don't use videos for provide. I've never really paid for anybody to create a video. I've built videos myself. I have some technical skills, but I've used to do things on my own. The biggest thing is that obviously the biggest pain point is the time it takes to do these things. That is probably the biggest pain point. Another thing, right, to answer your first question about how to differentiate, right? Sometimes you can differentiate things simply by combining two different things that you can do together. Like for example, this the thing that Manas has come up with. It's combining. It's simple things, right? You actually, if you look at the tech side of things, I mean, I come from a tech background as well. So if you look at the tech side of things, by combining two simple things together in a combination, you can provide something that is unique, right? So think about that from that perspective. Obviously, the time is a huge thing. Now, can you do something to build videos that involves technology that nobody else is doing? And also when you're doing that, think about like how easy is it for somebody to copy your idea. If you're doing something really simple, then probably somebody will easily copy your idea, and they will come in that space, and you won't be able to compete with them, because like they will if you're selling something for 5 rupees, they're willing to do it for 2 rupees. So you will be out of business for soon. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So it's a hard question. There is no easy answer to this. You have to. This is the whole reason why founders, spend a lot of time coming up with an idea, and they put all their risk, into that idea, because they believe that this is something that is hard to replace. So you have to spend some time. You have to think about this. You have to. I would say that if it were me to give a personal advice, I would say gain some various perspectives, various experiences, and that will enrich your experience, and it will make you unique as a person. Then you can come and say, okay, I can do something unique that nobody else can replace easily. So I mean, I'm not sure how many people will agree with that, but this is how I would approach it.
Okay. Thanks for the insights. I will work on it.
Probably to add on, I can say it's your mission, vision, and your purpose that is going to make all the difference. So you should be very clear why you want to do it, what is the problem you want to solve, and everything will get driven in that direction. Because when you really want to solve, you will find the ways, and ultimately you will be able to make yourself different. You will be different because your mission is when you are very confident in your mission and you are aligned with it, things will fall in place automatically.
Yeah, and also, right, this actually to add to that, one of the things is like talk to more people, try to understand the pain points, like you said, try to understand, because maybe I'm not the best person, maybe there are somebody else here who can offer the better pain points. But yeah, like networking is a great place to start to diversify your experiences as well. So I hope you maybe when you get some experience or some success, right, maybe you can come back and tell other people here how you did that, and you can support other people through your experiences.
I know we are short on time, Anant, but since we are on this topic and we do a lot of videos at Pineapple, my first company. Some of the pain points, obviously, if you were to see it from the client perspective, obviously number one is the cost, because everybody wants a Taj Mahal, but they have a budget of a toy, right? So that is obviously a challenge which creatively can only be solved, and that's where, again, as Raghav rightly said, I think or perhaps it was Shambhi, that how you can bring in and add value such that it is not just a fancy idea, but it actually converts into a business success for your client, because ultimately, no matter how creative you are, if it is not giving a business success to your client, they are not going to pay money, and once they taste the solution that you come up with, which results in more business for them, trust you me, they then open up their wallets too. So I would suggest, I think build on your core competencies, see where you are really good at, and then start with the most basic offering and do it right in the shortest amount of time, and perhaps that itself will lead you to build from there on.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I realized it. I failed second time because I did not focus on that. I was just doing what I liked rather than catering to the need of the clients or what the business should solve. So I have learned it midway through by failing second time. Thanks,
Yeah.
Amit.
That's the incredible learning. I think we all, which is what again Raghav was telling, that's the beauty of really being on your own, because no failure will go waste, always helps. So just that.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for everybody who joined and participated.
Thank you so
We
much.
will be doing this every month, so we're always there. You can go to our official website. It's thestartupclub.info, and you will find the links to our Telegram group and the meetup, so that you can join there and you can see the upcoming session, and also you can join our Telegram group so that you can network with more people. So whatever you put in the chat, like whatever you want to say about yourself, come to the Telegram group and share it. You have like 700 people there, so you will reach a lot bigger audience if you share your needs over there. And trust me, like you will find somebody who is also looking for the same thing that you are offering, and they will have something that you need. So give it a shot, and we will meet next time. Okay. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for valuable insights.
Raghav, are we staying back? Would you wanted to?
No, we'll connect separately. Yeah.
All right. Done. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.